Lesson 5 is the new world of work. As you know, we have two basic needs: something to do and someone to love, work and intimacy. We have dealt with intimacy, especially in the area of touch. Now, there are a number of lessons for the world of work. Lesson number 1, we now realize we have to be very careful with work-life balance. Be careful with this thing called balance, because what we have come to realize via COVID is that life comes first, work comes second. Just like the case of the ham and egg sandwich, the pig and the hen, they're not equals, not in terms of their contribution. The pig gave his life. The hen worked and laid an egg. So what we have come to realize, folks, is that no work is worth your life. So you do have a clear understanding how you balance these two things. It's not easy to do, but it is necessary to do. Lesson number 2. With COVID, the 4th industrial revolution is now making way for the 5th industrial revolution. We can see the kind of things that happened along the way. We went from the whole transformation of just energy driving things, all the way through automation, then with the globalization. Then we now got into the whole process of digitalization. But now we're on the transition to personalization, where we can personalize productions and services in a very individualized manner. Now, one of the things that is happening now to the world of work as we make the transition to the 5th industrial age is that business and companies now need to move from a for-profit perspective to a for-benefit perspective. Who will benefit? And we ask those questions carefully. We can't afford to reward business outcomes that put humanity, the community, and the earth in danger. These things are now becoming much more apparent. The wonderful thing is that some of us are ready for this, but many are not. The future of this 5th work order belongs to people who are nomads. How do we spell that? KNOWMADS. These are knowledge workers who can work anywhere, from anywhere. Lesson number 3. It is now time to decide who you really are. People are experimenting, trying different things in terms of getting work. Are you a freelancer? Are you a hustler? Or are you an entrepreneur? What's the difference? Well, freelancers do the work and get paid. Do the work and get paid straight up. Hustlers take advantage of short-term opportunities and get paid. Entrepreneurs, they try to do the work, but they try to build a company or an organization that does the work. The ultimate work of an entrepreneur is to create a system or a company that does the work. We now have to understand carefully which one we're doing and where do we fit. Too many people are giving pride to just hustling and freelancing, but COVID has shown us the limitations of those models. Lesson number 4. You work with your team, your work team. At home, you have a family. Get that clear. COVID has helped us to see through this nonsense. Oh, the people at work are just like my family. No, that is not true, and we saw this. No one on their deathbed has ever been heard to say, boy, I wish I spent more time at work. Family is family. Family is home. It's not the same place as work team. You can't get made redundant and laid off and cut back from home. Home is what rally around you to save you during the rough times of COVID. The work teams come and go and change and ebb and flow, but work is with your teams, home is with your family. We learned that. Lesson number 5. We learned that results are really what matters, not where the work is done. Look at how much time we took before just trying to figure out where this must be and where that must be and when and where. Results. Did you get the results? Those who were able to get the results despite the coronavirus are still in business, are still growing, are still doing well. Results are what matters in the world of business, in the world of work. Lesson number 6. Work is no longer a place. Work is now a state of mind. Remember in the old days? I'm going to work. So that was a physical place that you were going to where work took place. But now, with the whole thing of people working from home, offices being closed down, factories being closed down, but the work continued. Work is a state of mind. I'm at work. So once you're in the state of mind, irrespective of where you are, work can be done. The construct called office and workplace have evolved from being a place to being a state. Being at work is now a state of being. You can be sitting on the beach, but you're still at work. Lesson number 7. Anyone can now work from anywhere. Is that amazing? Anyone can now work from anywhere. So that the kind of demarcations that used to prevent us from doing things. But the result of this, if you can work from anywhere, it is time for you to decide where do you really want to live. We're seeing some of this taking place in places like the United States, where many small towns that are located near amusement park or some important landmark, people used to leave these small towns to go to the big city to find work. Many are now moving back home, moving back to the rural area, moving back to places that they enjoy being, because work can be done online. So you can now work from anywhere. So why not work from somewhere you love? Why not change where you live? Number 8, be careful that working from home doesn't transform to living at work. Some people during the course of the pandemic actually lost control of that demarcation between work and life. And life became nothing but work. And because the people you work for and knew that you were home, you were always there, you get calls any time of night or day. Because there's no travel to get to work, you're already at work. So eventually for some people, they were like they were living at work, where life became swamped out. Family became swamped out. Be careful. Do not allow that transition to take place. Be careful that working from home does not become living at work. Next rule. We now realize that we should treat our remote team members as adults, who they really are. Adults who can make good, independent judgment. You realize that the kind of command and control model we used to have, where persons had to be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. But because of the distance over which this communication took place, persons were now expected to do things and exercise good judgment on their own. And they did it. So we now need to make sure we start treating our team members like the adults they are and expect them to make good judgment. Next rule, beware of the Uberization of work and the gig economy with no benefits. There's something appealing to some people, some segments of the economy, that they can do a little hustling and get paid for it. You get paid for it directly. But the world of work evolved. Things called benefits, health benefits, vacation benefit, pension benefits. Unless you're living in a society where these things have been rolled into the totality of living in that society, we now run the risk of a lot of workers having absolutely no benefits. So, back to the primitive days of work. You work, you get paid. If for some reason you can't work, you have nothing to get. Whereas the owner of capital, the owners of the means of production, always have something to get. But you were paid upfront a salary. But the evolution of work created these other things called benefits, which was go above and beyond just the salary component. Beware of the Uberization of work. And finally, don't be a slave to your passion. You could actually starve. During the pandemic, persons who were passionate about certain things all of a sudden found out that, listen, but there was no market for this. I was getting away with doing this thing that I was passionate about year after year after year, because we could always find a way for people to pay us. We could always find a way to get it done. We now realize that you should not be a slave to your passion. What then should you do? Why not become passionate about work that really matters? Work that people need, work that people desire, work that people want. You become passionate about it, then hone your skills and master your craft. Become passionate about something that people desire, need, and want. Then hone your skill, master your craft, and deliver. These are some of the changes that I've observed in the world of work as a result of the coronavirus, and the extent to which we work with them to be able to get to the next level. And I do believe we will survive. Thank you.